Shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
Waking up to a few light showers and sprinkles across our area. I'll let you know if it will affect your morning commute.
Border Patrol in the Triangle, what agents are doing and why hundreds of people filled the streets in response. Plus, stop filming. Today, Wake County is considering major changes to how students and staff use phones and social media. What could soon be banned on campus? A lot of stories that we're getting to overnight. Thank you so much for joining us here on WRAL News. I'm Chris Levingood. The roller coaster continues weather-wise. We woke up in the 30s yesterday. We're waking up in the 40s today, Elizabeth. Wow.
Yeah, and with some showers. We have disturbances cruising across our area right now, and you can see just a little bit of light rain. When I came in, there were just a few raindrops on the windshield, but not even enough to make the ground wet. We do have another little band between Siler City and Pittsburgh, moving toward Jordan Lake. A little bit of rain in the northern part of Wake County, and then heading over toward Rocky Mount up the I-95 corridor toward Roanoke Rapids. But it's not much. It's really not even going to be enough to probably measure in the rain gauges for today. But it's likely to be with us up until around 7 or 8 o'clock this morning. After that, later this afternoon, we'll start to see the sun breaking out. It is going to be a warm day today. That is a warm front that's moving across the area right now. We take a live look from our Jimmy V camera at downtown Raleigh, and you can see Fayetteville Street looks dry, even though we have a little bit of light rain on the camera. Temperatures are in the mid-50s right now. Southwest wind at around 9 miles per hour, and looking at 48 in South Hill. But other than that, checking out in the low to mid-50s, so a lot warmer than what we saw this time yesterday. We take a look at our highs for the afternoon. Also nice and mild. We climb into the low 70s, and I'll show you why these warm temperatures will stick around into the weekend.
All right, sounds good, Elizabeth. Thank you. Let's go ahead and dive into the latest developments on Border Patrol operations happening right here in our area. Activities have been reported in several communities. I'm talking about Raleigh, Durham, Morrisville, even Fuquay-Varina. And we do have team coverage about this morning on what's ahead for the Triangle. Let's go ahead and start with WRAL's Ali Kadlabar in Raleigh.
And Chris, there's a lot of uncertainty today about what it'll look like after a day of Border Patrol agents in Raleigh and a night where protesters gathered here downtown to express their concerns. We saw about 300 people gather here in downtown, going from Moore Square all the way to the Capitol, about a half mile, to voice their concerns and demand the Border Patrol agents to leave their community. Listen to this. North Carolina woman, she also expressed concern about her child because her ex-husband is undocumented. And a North Carolina congressman, Tim Moore, tells us President Trump is doing what he said he would do.
It breaks my heart. She's 5 years old. This morning, she came down the steps. She was crying. She didn't want the police to take her dad when he left to work.
The American people voted for President Trump, who said one of his top priorities was going to be to secure the border and to look at to making sure that folks who are here illegally, who particularly those who are committing crimes, are deported. Well, he's keeping that promise.
We're working to find out if Border Patrol agents will be in Raleigh today, as well as if there's another protest scheduled. Reporting live in Raleigh, Ali Kadlabar, WRAL News.
And so then you have Durham, right? City leaders say at least 20 immigration raids happened in just 24 hours. We'll go to Laura Levine for that story in Durham. Laura, we're still trying to get confirmation from Homeland Security about the number of arrests so far.
Chris, good morning. Border Patrol agents here in Durham were spotted in places like neighborhoods near a child care facility, as well as businesses. And so, as you mentioned this morning, we are working to learn how many people were detained in this area as day 2 of operations are set to get underway. Now, County Commissioner Nida Alam captured this moment that agents approached a group of people and then later held them in custody. City and county leaders say Durham has seen serious drops in school attendance, businesses closed that are normally open, and people not showing up to work by choice or because they were told not to. Another video shows here a resident trying to stop agents in a Durham neighborhood from questioning someone that they simply spotted. Alum says these operations aren't about safety, but intimidation.
And what I saw was painful and infuriating. Custom and Border Patrol agents were heavily armed, masks covering their face, kidnapping 3 men right here in Durham, refusing to show a warrant.
And here in Durham today, we are planning to see some protests later this afternoon in this area. Of course, we're going to continue to track the immigration operations here. Laura Levine, WRAL News, live in Durham.
WRAL asked leaders at the Durham press conference last night, what happens next if someone is detained? We were told their information is uploaded on the Immigration and Customs Enforcement database, and no other information was provided. WRAL will continue to push for answers and bring them to you when we're able to do so. We're also hearing from parents of Wake County students concerned about immigration enforcement operations. Some parents spoke during last night's school board meeting about this. Liz Tatum, for example, she says her daughter attends a magnet language immersion program. And Tatum says the teachers are concerned about what's happening because many of them, yes, here legally in the U.S., were not born here.
The teachers who pour love and stability into my child daily are living with fear and instability. They're here legally, yet they still worry about immigration rules shifting with the possibility of deportation.
We've also heard concerns about potential immigration operations at Wake County schools. We checked with the school district, and at last check, they say that is not happening. We also asked an immigration attorney who agents can legally detain. The attorney said if agents are asking questions and you're answering them, they can talk to you. However, agents cannot target areas or groups of people based on appearances. Instead, they should be following up on suspicion of criminal activity from a tip about someone or a warrant. WRAL reached out to Republican Senator Ted Budd's office about his thoughts on the immigration enforcement crackdown. We did so after he did not directly answer any questions about the topic at an event yesterday. He shared a statement saying in part, quote, "We must ensure those who come here do so legally." He also said responsible enforcement measures carried out in an orderly manner are critical to protecting American lives in our communities here in North Carolina. Immigration is actually a topic that divides communities in North Carolina and elsewhere in the U.S., and our documentary, Crossing Borders, Immigration and Division in North Carolina, explores that. We talked to people directly affected on all sides of the issue, and you can watch that on WRAL.com and on WRAL's YouTube page. As we continue to follow this developing story about Border Patrol operations in the Triangle, you can download the WRAL News app. That way, you can be the first to know about any new information we learn. Be sure to turn on those push notifications as well. And we'll follow this story throughout the day here on WRAL, so look for coverage on Border Patrol in the Triangle from our evening news team starting at 4 p.m. Today, we could see a bill to force the release of the Jeffrey Epstein case files be sent to President Trump's desk. Last night, the House overwhelmingly voted to pass the legislation. Shortly after, the Senate voted to automatically approve the bill from the House after senators receive it. The bill would require the DOJ to release all of its unclassified records related to Epstein and his co-conspirator, Ghislaine Maxwell. After the Senate receives the bill, it goes straight to President Trump, who says that he will sign it into law. The Wake County school system wants people to stop filming each other at school without the subject's permission. That's one of many new restrictions the school system is proposing to the school board's policy committee. That committee meets this afternoon. The proposed changes would do the following: restrict social media use and private hotspot use, and ban any students or employees from making videos, photos, or other recordings of each other without getting permission first.
We need to make sure that the kids are protecting themselves from things that they don't even understand. They don't know what they don't know still, right? So we need to kind of protect everybody from those situations.
A change to a separate policy also set for discussion would also address internet usage. It would block access to websites that don't protect student data. And today's meeting starts at 1 p.m. New this morning, the Wake County School Board approved more than $13 million in adjustments to its more than $2.2 billion budget. The changes include money for higher than expected utility and academic costs. It does not include any new teacher raises because the state hasn't passed a new budget that includes any. A teenager in Fayetteville was hurt in an overnight shooting. The WRAL Breaking News Tracker was at that scene on Winlock Drive just before 11 p.m. Evidence markers were seen along the road, and an officer on scene told us there were bullet holes in a parked SUV, and so we're still trying to learn more specifics about that teenager's condition. The sheriff's office is investigating after a man was injured in a different shooting in Cumberland County. Deputies were seen this morning at the roadside inn Eastern on Boulevard near Gillespie Street. Now, that's just outside of Fayetteville, if you know that area. It's not clear, though, if the shooting happened at the motel or near it, or if the person shot was a guest there. Deputies say the man was taken to the hospital, and we are still trying to find out what led up to that shooting. North Carolina health, farming, and law enforcement leaders are discussing the new federal ban on hemp-based THC products. President Trump signed a ban on nearly all hemp-based THC drinks, gummies, and other products into law last week. The local experts who are meeting serve on a hemp and marijuana policy task force started by Governor Stein. They say they are still not sure if the ban also means most CBD products are also banned. The ban on hemp products doesn't go into effect for another year. And while we're in open enrollment season, we're seeing a major fight over Medicare Advantage plans come to an end. United Healthcare announced for people who use Medicare Advantage plans, WakeMed facilities and specialty providers are officially out of network. Last week, UNC Health announced that it will no longer be considered an in-network provider for Humana's or WellCare's Medicare Advantage plan. As for what this means for you, we got answers from a healthcare policy professor at UNC Medical School. Dr. Jonathan Oberlander says these plans are popular because they provide extra benefits and specialty care. They're also becoming big business for the insurers.
What's happening in Medicare Advantage is a lot of hospitals are increasingly frustrated with the pre-authorization requirements, the sort of burdensome administration, the slow payments, and so on from Medicare Advantage plans, and they're canceling contracts.
Now, if you have a Medicare Advantage plan and your plan is no longer in network for a certain hospital or maybe a certain doctor, here's Dr. Oberlander's advice for you.
Then you have to really consider whether you want to change plans this year, because there's a huge financial difference between going to a hospital or a physician that's in network or out of network.
He says during open enrollment, shop around and try to find another insurer that offers Medicare Advantage, or you can always stick with traditional Medicare. Time now is 4:41. The future of innovation. A high-tech project coming to Johnston County is drawing attention from the Pentagon. How the move is transforming job growth. And new safety push. Roblox is rolling out stricter age checks after lawsuits claim the platform is putting kids in danger. What users will soon have to do. Let's go and step outside. Take a live look at Pittsburgh this morning. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner will break down the spring warmth that's moving in.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
It is 4:45 and I'm tracking a band of showers that's moving across our area. It's going to be very light and patchy. As a matter of fact, we're probably looking at a few hundredths of an inch is all. But you might run into some wet streets. As a matter of fact, over here in Chatham County, and as that moves across Wake County, again, the streets could be just a little bit wet or damp. Also seeing that sort of on the northern part of the I-95 corridor. But it's not likely to be anything that has a major effect on the morning commute. We'll see the potential for rain tapering off around 7 or 8 o'clock. And then once we get closer to lunchtime, we'll see some sunshine returning. It's going to be a nice warm day. If you're thinking about exercising, again, it's a little bit wet out there, but on the warm side, temperatures are in the low 50s as you're heading out the door. And then it'll be a warm afternoon in the low 70s. We're going to take a close look at the weekend and time out the rain that we could see for Saturday.
Today, Governor Josh Stein will be in Greenville to discuss the state's Medicare debt relief, the medical debt relief program, I should say. The initiative was first started by former Governor Roy Cooper. More than $6.5 billion in medical debt has been forgiven so far. All hospitals in the state participate in this program. It's helped more than 2.5 million people. And the program is for anyone with outstanding medical debt or people who meet a certain income threshold. Online gaming platform Roblox is introducing new age verification features as the company faces lawsuits claiming it endangers children. Users who want to chat will soon have to provide a government ID, or they can allow an AI age estimation tool photograph their face. A series of lawsuits allege the platform enables sexual predators to connect with and abuse children. WRAL Investigates has reported on Roblox safety concerns recently. WRAL's Ashley Rose spoke with the Senior Director of Product Policy at Roblox about perceived lapses, and you can watch her report on WRAL.com. Just search Roblox. Johnston County will be the hub for U.S. manufacturing of rare earth magnets. We're talking about 1,000 jobs being created with salaries over $80,000. It's a project that's drawn attention from the Pentagon. WRAL's Sean Gallagher shows us what this means for our state.
If you're asking yourself, what in the world are rare earth magnets? Well, every time your phone buzzes, you can thank the magnets for that. And after today's announcement, there is a lot more buzz about these magnets all across the state. inside this massive warehouse, the future of innovation in Johnston County, what will be the largest rare earth magnet manufacturing facility in the U.S.
And a rare earth magnet is like your spine.
And CEO John Maslin hopes Vulcan Elements can be the backbone in Johnston County, with the backing of the federal government and Department of War, who need these magnets.
On the defense side, every ship, every submarine, every tank, every missile, every aircraft, every drone, every satellite. All of those require rare earth magnets.
Drawing support from both Republican Senator Ted Budd and Democratic Governor Josh Stein.
It will be the largest battery manufacturer outside of China in the world. This is important not only for economic development, it's important for national security.
We tend to agree on issues of defense and also economic growth.
Magnets drawing the partisan polls together over national security. China produces over 90% of rare earth magnets worldwide, according to the Department of Energy.
Well, there's a clear nexus on this project between economic development and national security. So to have the federal government get engaged in this project is an indicator that it's a priority at the national level.
But it's drawn nearly $1.5 billion in government investment, a concern moving forward for Governor Stein.
I am comforted by the fact it's not voting stock, but I do worry that it might distort government policy going forward.
More construction will be completed here in the next 12 months with the plan to hit its 1,000 jobs goal by 2029. Sean Gallagher, WRAL News in Johnston County.
Today, we expect to hear from UNC head football coach Bill Belichick. The Tar Heels are working to finish their season off strong after a tough game against Wake Forest last Saturday. They are going to need to win their last 2 games to be eligible for a bowl game, and they play Duke this Saturday and NC State after Thanksgiving. Coach Belichick will speak at 11:30 this morning, and we'll let you know what he has to say. All right, so we have been spoiled with Aurora Borealis lately. Sunrises, beautiful photos of last night, looks like, Elizabeth.
Yeah, we had some clouds that actually started to roll in late yesterday, and it's those clouds that help to produce those beautiful colors when the sun starts to rise or set. So it was gorgeous. We appreciate you sending those in. If you have some photos you'd like to share with us, go to WRAL.com/report it. Let's jump on out and talk about why those clouds were increasing. It's because we're seeing some showers that rolled on in. We have a warm front that's stretched across our area right now. So warm temperatures, but along this front, we're seeing some showers, especially over here into Chatham County, and that's getting ready to move into Wake County and southern Durham County. Also from Rocky Mountain northward up toward Roanoke Rapids there along the northern end of the I-95 corridor, we're seeing some showers. This rain is likely to zip on by pretty quickly. This is, of course, right over here around 5 a.m. Notice by 7, Futurecast shows it all out of here. So nothing's going to be heavy enough to cause any problems for you this morning. And as we get through the morning hours, we start to clear things out. And the warm temperatures stick around. That band of rain moving through Chatham County has brought wet streets to Pittsburgh this morning, so keep that in mind. 54 is our temperature. Southwest wind currently at 9 miles per hour. Our temperature in South Hill is 48. Elsewhere, our temperatures are in the low to mid 50s, including around the Triangle. 51 in Apex, 55 in Knightdale, 51 in Chapel Hill. A lot warmer than yesterday, anywhere from 15 to 20 degrees warmer. So that was a big jump from the 30s into the 50s. We'll be in the 70s this afternoon. 73 in Raleigh and Durham, and 78 in Fayetteville. And above normal temperatures continue. Our normal low is 62, and we're looking at least 3 days of the next 5 in the 70s, close to record highs. We're excited about the Festival of Lights, which begins tomorrow. It's a fun festival of lights and so many things at the Durham Bulls. That starts tomorrow and lasts all the way into early January. We're tracking this front that's helping to bring us some rain right now, and of course, watching what it may do as we get closer to Saturday. We're excited about the Raleigh Christmas Parade. On Friday, it's likely to be cloudy. We're going to see some scattered rain that starts to move in. That's 2 o'clock on Friday. And right now, it looks like this front will dip back closer to us and bring us a chance of some showers. That's 9:30 on Saturday morning with some rain showing up there. And of course, that's the time that the parade starts. That may not be the final answer. Of course, things may flip-flop a little bit more, but at least for now, we've been trending a little bit wet for Saturday morning.
Don't worry, Elizabeth. I have my ticket for the weather roller coaster that we're on right now. All right, time is 4:51. Big premieres ahead. 2 powerful projects are getting attention in Hollywood. We'll take a look at Kristen Stewart's big move behind the camera.